SharpTalk time, people. This is MikeySpice. You know how he is. This is where I bring real life transformations and we tell the truth about what really went on behind the scenes. And today, in the studio, I have not only this amazing woman, Zoe Bennett, MBC director, brilliant speaker, and what more can I say? Zoe, welcome to SharpTalk.
Thanks for having me, Mr. MikeySpice. I'm looking forward to this.
Thank you, Zoe. Zoe, so tell the audience a little bit about yourself, you know, about your background.
Well, apparently, MikeySpice created me. Created a new me, apparently.
Yeah,
no,
I do times.
No,
do
you
things like
did the
that.
transformation.
Thank you.
I will give it to you. So, yeah, and I'm talking about fitness transformation. So necessary, but I'm sure we'll get into that in a little while. But for me, people call me the motivational queen.
Yeah.
And I'm trademarked in the UK, Europe, and United States of America. Even have my own jewelry line. There we go, people.
Awesome.
So, and it says, believe in yourself and never give up. And it's about motivational word, reminding yourself that, you know what, you've got this. You can actually achieve whatever you want to achieve through a positive mindset. Yeah. I am the CEO and founder of Training Personified Limited, a training provider company, work with corporates as well as welfare to work and government contracts. And I am the founder and creator, the sole founder and creator of the MBCC Awards, the Multicultural Business and Community Champion Awards, where we recognise and value inspirational unsung heroes around the UK.
So from all that, people, you can see that she has a busy lifestyle. Am I right?
You're all right, but I'm also an author.
Okay, see what I'm saying?
And a radio host.
Okay, so there it is. So,
and a speaker.
Okay, so see.
What's up?
Okay, so you know that excuse where everyone says they ain't got time? Okay, well, we're going to talk about how you managed to do a body transformation, okay, and change around all these things. So first of all, Zoe, listen, what was life like before you actually, you know, jumped on like my transformation program? And, you know, what was life like before regarding your health, your mindset?
I just was nothing without you, Mikey. Clearly nothing. You know, I wasn't living before I met you, Mikey.
So before you discovered me, you wasn't living, huh? I'm sure you was living.
Clearly wasn't living before you.
I'm sure you was, but
no, you give me a whole new. I'm being serious now. Right. Once you get your fitness levels to a level, so many things that you were struggling to do, like walking upstairs and just general things, even speaking on stage where I would get out of breath. Don't do that anymore. As a result, and I'm going to give it to you. That's the only thing I'm giving you for this little minute. Okay. Yeah, that you actually transform that.
Thank you. But in the sense of like, you know, you say like you wasn't living. In a certain sense, what was your habits and your lifestyle like then, like regarding your eating habits? Because I know we did, you know, when your eating habits, sleeping habits, you know, movement-wise and things like that.
This is now where I keep it really, really serious. I was in a very self-destructive state. Simple as that. For many people that know that my father was brutally tortured to death. And with that, I used to self-sabotage. And I would self-sabotage just to... in my mind, if I could do certain things to myself and I'm really terrible to myself, he'll come back and he'll come and save me. In my own head, and I know obviously it's from the normal people looking and listening to this, like, well, a dead person can't come back. But in my mind, you do that negotiation. If I do this and I do that, then my dad will be there. He can talk to me again. And so one thing you would always say to me, if I was going, like, putting on weight, and I never had a weight problem, by the way, but if I was putting on weight, you know, I was always say, hey, kid, you're getting a bit fat, kid. So then I would make sure I just reassign and take note of what I'm doing. So I just used to once my dad was passed, I just used to eat and eat and eat, thinking, okay, if I eat so much, he'll come back and tell me, hey, kid, and I'll hear it again. And that's where my head was at. So I was very self-destructive in all of that. But then it came to a point where it was really affecting my health. And like I said, walking and going upstairs and even talking, I was holding my breath a lot when I was talking without realizing. So it would have different physiology issues within myself. So Yeah, then I met you, and I fought you every step of the way. And over time, I started getting it. Actually, I felt so much better, so much alive. And to be perfectly honest, without the accountability buddy from you, it is very difficult. So I always say to people, you know what? Work on your fitness. If you can't do it alone, there are people out there that can help you. And Mikey is that person. And let me tell you something. I can't work with any and everybody because I'm one of those people who's got a little bit of a mouth on him. And I'll give as good as I can get, you know. But Mikey, my gosh, I've met my match.
we're gonna. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, okay? Because I was at one of the awards and I seen Zoe and like we spoke. And it was like must have been like a year and a bit before we actually start working together. And in prior meeting Zoe, I was like, Zoe, you need to come down and we'll do like a taster session and stuff like that. Can I mention?
What you're trying to say is you're fat.
Yeah.
So just work with you.
Like I always do a discovery session, so like that way we see we're vibing and stuff like that, and see what the real issue is about what's going on. And I got Zoe on the rower. And I was like, Zoe, I need you to warm up on the rower for me. And I think it was like 3 minutes or something like that. Zoe got off the rower and she was like, Michael, you know what? I can't breathe, man. And I was like, yo, just be calm, like, you know. And Zoe was like, I need to go find my inhaler. And then she come back and she was like, I gotta find my inhaler. And Zoe, do you want to explain the rest of the other thing? Zoe? I can picture it right now, man.
Well, put it this way, an ambulance came. And I literally, I could feel myself passing out. Mikey tried to kill me. That's the upshot, you know. Go for a training session, discovery. The man might try and kill you.
We only did the warm up, man.
And after the ambulance took me away, ended up in what's that one? That City Road Hospital on a trolley outside because there's no beds for me. You know, they're trying to revive me, and then I still came back, glutton for punishment. Round 2, ding ding. Let's see if you can kill me again.
I know.
Talk about self-sabotage.
Yeah, I was like, you know, after I let her go in that ambulance and then I drove a car back, I was like, Zoe, like before I shut the door, I was like, Zoe, this is like, you know, it doesn't have to be this way. You know, this doesn't make the person that you are. She was like, I'll be back. And I dropped the car off and then, you know, we kept on seeing each other. And Zoe was like, Mike, I'm going to be doing it. And you know what? To be honest with you, you know, and your husband was like, you know what? Don't write Zoe off, you know. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And you know what? A year later, Zoe come back and she was like, Mike, it's time. And I was like, wow, she's got really good marker mentality. That she set her intention. And despite, because I know some people really want to hear this story, because I know I'm talking to some people that are going through some health issues right now. And they're on the journey. And these things happen. But I'm saying is that, you know, you came back and you know, we started off the transformation.
Well, that's the never give up attitude, isn't it? You can't say that to other people, never give up, if you then yourself give up. Come on now. I'm not one of those hypocrites. You know those people who says, oh, well, you should do this and do that, and that's the way you should go in life. And then clock it. They ain't doing it themselves, but they give out the advice. And I refuse to be one of those people. So thank you, Mikey, for giving me round 2. And I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, I know. And we got into round 2. I remember, like, after I was treating her so fragile. I was like, so we like, and then after, you know what? She allowed me to, like, let loose, where she was like, Mike, I can take it. And, like, you know, when she came back, you spoke about some of your things that you wanted to walk up the stairs. And I know you just come into the studio. I was just double checking on, like, if you guys could see this studio where we're at right now, it's about, like 6 floors that have stairs you got to go up. And I was just walking behind Zoe and I was like, is she still going to be out of breath? And no, she walked up fine. She wouldn't stop talking up the way as well.
See, that's a skill. Talking and walking upstairs is a skill. So thank you, Mikey.
So let me ask you a question. What was, because you know you went away and the rest of it, what made you, you know, what was it about coming to see me at the beginning, and that made you want to come back and, you know, and look into the services I offer? What was different compared to others?
Because I just knew I had to make some changes. I needed to put myself first, which I wasn't. I was always, as you can see, all the many things that I do, thinking I've got no time. But actually, if I've got time to do all those hundreds and thousands of things, clearly I've got time for myself to be within that. So that's what it was. And then at the time as well, you know, my wrist, I've got the chronic de Quervain's tendinitis, and that was a barrier where I couldn't lift anything, not even a carrier bag properly out of his hand. And I thought, you know what, no, there's always going to be barriers, and I've got to just overcome them and work around them. And that's what we did. And ironically, through working and lifting weights, it started strengthening this. You can see the bone still sticking out, you know. But for me, that's where I had to start with just stop making excuses and just having solutions and living by those solutions. And like I said, I refuse to tell somebody else that they should then overcome their barriers if I'm not doing it myself. There's one thing I genuinely don't like is hypocrites, and I refuse to be one of those.
How come you decided to work with me and come back? Because like really, I put you in the ambulance, and
It's because you're relentless, Mikey.
Oh,
Seriously,
okay.
I like somebody who doesn't give up. That's my whole ethos, and your mindset as well. We're very similar, aligned. You know, I'm much quieter than you, of course, but you know. But do I hear people laughing in the studio at that?
Yeah,
Come on now, what is that?
I love it, really. I love it.
No, but seriously, I'm reserved, very quiet. I'm very shy, and I knew that you could pull that out of me.
No, I love it. I love it. So Zoe, take us through the moment when you realised that, you know, your life was starting to change, and the work that we were doing was starting to see a difference. Help people to understand.
Do you know what it was? Seriously, do you know what it was? When I saw that pink elephant running up the road. I had this string vest pink thing on.
I got the video on that. So
you filmed me running up and down the street. And I didn't even notice really how bad it was was it even straight away you showed me that? It was about maybe a month after, or maybe a month and a half after starting to work with you. And I saw that, I was like, heck to the nizzo. This cannot carry on. I cannot believe that is where I am. And that's what really motivated me. So when you're throwing on the extra weight and you're thinking that I can't do the weight, and then when I lift the weight, and you're like, okay, then I'm throwing more weight on. I'd lift more weight. Then you'd be like, nah, I'm not having that. Then you throw more weight on. I was just determined from there. That was it.
So it was the moment, like, you seeing yourself in that video that I shot. You were like, it was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know, and thank you for sharing that, because I know people, you know, the most hardest picture for me to ever get is people's before picture. But in the sense that, you know, I did the video and didn't show you, but I'm saying it was great for you to see it, and then that for it to spur you on. Because right now I actually measured somebody this week, and I know that, you know, there was a little funny feeling about doing it, but you know, you can also use it as a motivational tool like you just did.
Oh no, I've burnt that video. That video was never coming out again. I don't even know where it is. It's disappeared. It's not making an entrance ever again. So neither will I in person as that pink elephant. So no, not happening.
She's got the pink elephant in her head anyway. But however, I've still got the video. So, you know what I mean? If I ever see that she started to slip, I'll be like, Zoe!
No. Nope. But yeah, no, but do you know what? Sometimes we just need something to like smack us right in the face and have that realization, this is where you really are at. Because, you know, outside looking in, other people can tell you, but you really have to see it for yourself. It's like people who are substance abusers, until they themselves say that I want to make a difference, I see that I have a problem. Doesn't matter how many times other people can say, you've got this problem, you need to do this, you need to do that. It ain't going to work. So me visually seeing that was that turnaround, and so many people need to see that in different ways. It might be a picture, might be a video, might be whatever it is for them, that is that catalyst. So we can't be hard on people just because we know that they need to change. We got to allow people to put vehicles in the way and show them in an indirect way what it is that we see. because sometimes what happens is people are so resistant that are just so stubborn that they will not change. So being direct is not always the way.
Yeah. So, in saying that then, so what was the biggest takeaway from you did like just over 19 weeks. What was your biggest takeaway over 19 weeks that you learned about yourself?
The biggest takeaway was finishing every day. Because, my gosh, you can talk. Oh my gosh. I was like, my goodness me, that yap.
Explain to the audience what some of the talking was about.
No, you just want to shut up. So when is he going to stop?
Did it sound like you were hearing yourself back?
That's probably what it was. Oh my gosh. You see, you're going to be a marker. You're not a pencil.
Okay, so tell the audience about the marker and pencil mentality.
Gosh, no. I think the audience has heard it a million times. They don't need to hear it again. You are a marker. Okay. You're not a pencil. Okay. And so pencils are people with those limiting self-talks. The markers are the ones that are saying, do you know what? I'm smashing things out of the way. There's not even a hurdle in front. I'm jumping over. I'm going around it. I'm going to make it happen. The pencils are like, no, I think I'm going to stop because it's just too high or it might break my bones or something. So, marker time. So, if you want it, go for it, do it. So pencil time, I ain't doing it.
So what was your marker moment then?
My marker moment was just to stop him from yapping. Seriously.
Okay, so all right, so I like that. So basically, I'll be honest, I had a strategy with Zoe.
Oh, talk me to death.
Yeah, it was actually.
You could have killed me by treading out on the actual roll machine. Next thing is talk me to death. What's the next thing?
Yeah, so that was what it was. So basically, she didn't want to hear me stop. She didn't want to hear me, stop talking. She would just get on with it, and I'll stop talking. But if she stopped, then I had something to say. And I was like, and the marker and the pencil came out. Yeah.
Do you know something? I haven't eye rolled in the longest while because I've not seen you for a few weeks. So this eye roll's going to start coming out again. Honestly, no, seriously, no. We just have bants. That's we really have fun, and that's what makes you, when you're doing anything, you've just got to have fun with it. Yeah. And the hardest things are chores if you think it's a chore and it's difficult. But because we just bounce off each other, and and he really does aggravate me. No, not really. But because of that, I can work out, and it's not strenuous. It's not like, oh my gosh, you've got an hour and counting down the minutes until it's over. So and imagine if he didn't talk and we didn't have this bounce, it would be really ridiculously boring. I wouldn't get no results.
I'll be honest with you, on the journey, I've seen some. I heard some hindering thoughts, but however, because I said that, Zoe, are you a pencil or marker? She went ahead and did it. And, some of the moments that caught me with burpees, like, at the beginning, you wasn't a lover of burpees. And, she actually sent me a video and went, Mikey, look at me now, man. And she did like 10 burpees. And I was like,
hello, 20.
Oh, sorry, 20 burpees. Okay. And, going, not just doing it in the studio, but also the work that you did away from me. I found very impressive, because that showed me that you didn't just want it, you just wasn't relying on me. You also put things in place for yourself.
That's because I knew I had to then deal with you the next day. So I have to do something in the meantime.
So tell the audience, what does life look like now that you've solved this problem and solve this?
No, I don't think it's about solving a problem. It's about creating a new habit. It's about embedding something that becomes a lifestyle. That's the difference. That's why people always revert back and then they can't keep things up, because they think, it's a problem to solve, deal with that. They deal with it and then stop doing anything associated with it. So for me, it's about embedding it. So in my head, I'm having to think about water and drinking water and not overly having too many carbs. And if you have a cheat day, it's not a cheat all day, it's a cheat meal within a day and all of those things. And that's because I've got Mikey in my head. It's like he's sat on my shoulder, and and they say you've got like the devil and the angel. I don't know. You choose whichever one he is, but I've got Mikey on my shoulder all the time, and I eat, sleep, think of Mikey, my poor husband there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So even though that, the talks and the rest of it, she couldn't wait to get out of the room with me. I'm still in her head and I'm still there. So Zoe, listen, is there anything you would say to anybody that's on their journey starting this year and, words of inspiration that they probably might...
It's just about just getting started, but getting started for the right reasons. And don't think it's a quick fix and don't think it's just a short time frame. It's about how can you, even if it's not massive what you're going to do, what's the small little changes that you can do and do it consistently to make it easier, to make it a habit. So maybe carry on eating what you're eating, but reduce one carb item just slowly, then a second one, and then only blend it in maybe once a week after you've got used to it, your body's got used to it. Going all in and going on these crashes is really what is not good for yourself, your self-esteem as well, because what happens is when you don't do what you feel that you want to do, you then start having limiting belief thoughts. You internalize it saying, oh, I can't believe I couldn't do that. I'm no good. And then that physiology then obviously is not good for you when you're showing up as such as you feel like a failure. You feel like an imposter in your own life because you're not achieving and sustaining what you want. The only way to do it is to do it in small, bite-sized chunks, and little by little, step by step, you will get there. And then it will just become a way of life. And that's what it really is about. It's learning how to have and create a way of life that works for you.
I hear that, people. So this year, make it a year that you create these habits and make it a way of life. Remember, I want to say to you before we leave off, there's two ways. You can either feel good or feel bad. It's a choice. Anyway, catch you on the next Sharp Talk. Zoe, lovely to have you here on the studio. Take care, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityextra.co.uk.